Human Performance and Limitations, Lesson 1. Welcome to our first lesson on human performance and limitations in aviation, geared towards aspiring airline pilots or a brief review for those already at the airlines. Today, we'll explore essential insights that apply universally regardless of location, while we'll refer to European statistics, they're relevant worldwide. Understanding our human abilities and limits is crucial. Becoming an airline pilot can feel sometimes like mastering various fields at once. Medicine, physics, teaching, and of course flying. Through this channel, I aim to promote safe practices to guide your decision making on the ground and in the air. This lesson will be the beginning of a 6-part series. We'll lay the foundation today, with each session ending in practice questions for your ATPL exam. We'll cover topics like why airplanes crash, human factors, how CRM helps, and essential laws with their formulas. Join me as we embark on this enlightening journey through aviation, human performance, and limitations. During our pilot training, from a basic private pilot license to the advanced airline transport pilot license, we focus extensively on emergency procedures. Surprisingly, about 76% of aircraft crashes stem from human errors by flight crew. Aircraft-related issues account for only 11% of accidents. Aircraft traffic control errors for about 10%, and weather-related incidents for the remaining 3%. While you don't need to memorize these statistics, it's crucial for us pilots to collaborate and to understand our limitations to reduce accidents. The 3 main causes of pilot-induced accidents are the loss of aircraft control, poor judgment, which leads to bad decision-making, and inadequate pre-flight planning. These accidents often occur during critical phases of flight, such as approach to landing, takeoff, and descents from cruise altitude, mainly due to a lack of situational awareness. A significant portion of accidents involve controlled flight into terrain. When an aircraft is in good condition and it crashes into the ground. The ground proximity warning system plays a vital role in preventing such incidents from reoccurring. Understanding pilot error is crucial, as it accounts for more than 75% of accidents in aviation. This raises important questions. Was there inadequate training? Did the cockpit design contribute to the error? Were the checklists effectively utilized? For your exam, remember that pilot error is defined as any action or inaction by the crew that deviates from the plan or their intentions and expectations. Another related concept is threats, events beyond the crew's control that introduce unpredictability and complexity. Effective management of errors and threats is essential for flight safety. In a multi-crew environment, crew resource management is essential. It encompasses collaborative efforts to recognize, communicate, and formulate responses, and if need be, address potential threats. CRM significance extends to beyond the cockpit, as it is also utilized by cabin crew, air traffic control, and maintenance teams, for example. CRM training is a mandatory requirement for obtaining an ATPL license. In an upcoming video, I will demonstrate CRM principles in aviation within the simulator, providing a first-hand look at its application in real-world scenarios. One model vital for pilots to understand, especially for your exam, is the shell model. In this model, pilots represent the L from liveware, positioned at the center. Think of us as a central piece of a puzzle, where all components must align seamlessly. The second L also presents liveware. It may symbolize other flight crew members, such as cabin crew. The S from software could denote elements like poorly designed checklists, while H from hardware may encompass aspects like inadequate ergonomics in the aircraft, also known as design flaws. Lastly, E from environment could encompass factors such as bad weather conditions. Competency in aviation encompasses knowledge, skill, and the ability of individual pilots. Technical competencies directly pertain to the control of equipment, while non-technical competencies extend beyond aircraft system control. Areas assessed for pilot competencies include manual aircraft control and autoflight, stress tolerance, risk assessment and decision-making, leadership and CRM behavior, procedure compliance, and professional attitude development. Pilot must make sound decisions even under pressure. Effective crew resource management, also known as CRM, fosters a safer and more pleasant environment for everyone involved. Alright, well done. We made it to the lesson halfway so far. We're going to talk about flight physiology. There are also going to be some laws that you just got to remember. This is a lot of knowledge that you should just know by heart. Let's start with some essential facts and formulas. Most airline flights occur in the troposphere, which begins at 25,000 feet at the poles, so that's going to be the North and South Pole, and approximately 55,000 feet at the equator. The composition of the atmosphere remained constant up to the tropopause. It consists of 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 1% other gases like argon, carbon dioxide, neon, hydrogen, and ozone. The International Standard Atmosphere sets the standard sea level pressure at 29.92 inches of mercury, 760 millimeters of mercury, or 1013, that's 1013 hectopascals, with a temperature of positive 15 degrees Celsius. Boyle's law. Boyle's law states that as the volume of gas increases, the pressure decreases, provided the temperature remains constant. This relationship is expressed by the formula P1 divided by P2 is equal to V2 divided by V1. To understand Boyle's law, imagine squeezing or expanding a balloon. If we maintain the temperature and the mass of the gas inside the balloon constant, squeezes it to reduce its volume, increases the pressure inside, while allowing it to expand, decreases the pressure. Therefore, pressure and volume are inversely proportional when temperature and mass remain constant. You may ask yourself, why should I know about Boyle's law? Well, knowing Boyle's law is crucial in aviation due to barotrauma, which refers to the physical injuries caused by pressure changes. During flight, individuals may experience various barotraumas. Some examples of these are ear barotrauma. Coming during flight, this occurs to the pressure difference between the middle ear and the cabin pressure. Inadequate equalization during ascent or descent can lead to discomfort, pain, or even hearing loss. Another one is sinus barotrauma. Similar to the ear barotrauma, this involves pressure differences between the sinuses and the cabin pressure, causing pain, discomfort, or bleeding. Tooth barotrauma. Pressure changes during flight can affect dental fillings, resulting in tooth discomfort and pain. Gastrointestinal barotrauma. Rapid pressure changes can cause bloating or discomfort in the gastrointestinal tract, particularly affecting individuals with certain gastrointestinal conditions. And from Boyle's law, we're moving on to Charles' law. Charles' law, a fundamental principle in gas physics, states when the pressure and mass of gas are kept constant, changes in temperature directly influence its volume. Specifically, when the temperature of gas increases, its volume expands proportionally and conversely. When the temperature decreases, its volume contracts proportionally. This relationship is expressed by the formula V1 divided by V2 is equal to T1 divided by T2, signifying that the initial and final volume of the gas are directly proportional to the initial and final temperatures respectively. In simpler terms, as the temperature rises, the volume increases. As the temperature falls, the volume decreases, giving that the pressure and mass remain constant. Now, when we combine these two laws into the general gas equation, it tells us that when we change the volume, pressure, and temperature of a gas all at the same time, as long as the mass stays constant, their product stays the same. So for example, if you have a cylinder of oxygen, the pressure indicated on the cylinder will change if you change the temperature. If you heat up the cylinder, the pressure will increase. And if you cool it down, the pressure will decrease. This is because temperature affects the pressure of the gas inside the cylinder according to this equation. The equation itself you can see on the screen. It's gonna be a long equation to pronounce. Dalton's law. The total pressure of the gas mixture is equal to the sum of the partial pressure. Let's simplify Dalton's law. Imagine you have a balloon filled with a mix of different gases like oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide. Dalton's law tells us how to figure out the total pressure inside the balloon when there's a mix of gases. It says that the total pressure inside the balloon is just the sum of the pressures that each gas would exert if it were all alone in the balloon. So if you have oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide, each in their own separate balloon, and you measure the pressure of each gas inside the balloons, you can add up those pressures to find out the total pressure if you mix them all together in one balloon. So Dalton's law simply tells us to find the total pressure of a mix of gases, you just add up the pressures for each gas in the mix. Henry's law. For your exam, remember this. At equilibrium, the amount of gas dissolved in a liquid is proportional to the pressure of the same gas above the liquid. What this actually means. Imagine you have a bottle of water. When you shake the bottle and open it, you might see some bubbles. Those bubbles are gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide dissolved in the water. Now Henry's law tells us something important about those bubbles. It says the amount of gas dissolved in the water depends on the pressure of that gas in the air above the water. So if you have a high pressure of a certain gas above the water, like you're in a place where there's a lot of gas in the air, then more of that gas will dissolve into the water. On the other hand, if the pressure of the gas above the water is low, less of it will dissolve into the water. Think of it like this. The more pressure of a gas is pushing down on the water's surface, the more of that gas will squeeze into the water. It's like how soda has a lot of bubbles when it's under pressure in a bottle, but when you open it and release the pressure, the bubbles start to disappear because there's less pressure pushing the gas into the liquid. So Henry's law is simply telling us that the amount of gas dissolved in a liquid is related to how much pressure that gas has above the liquid. If there's more pressure, more gas will dissolve. If there's less pressure, less gas will dissolve. Alright, welcome to the last law of this lesson before we start with the exam questions. This is going to be a simplified version of Fick's law. During your exam, you should know the rate of gas transfer through a tissue is proportional to the difference between the partial pressure of the gas on two sides of the tissue and also proportional to the transfer area, but inversely proportional to the tissue thickness. But what does this actually mean? When we talk about the rate of gas transfer through a tissue, we're basically discussing how fast can gas move from one side of the tissue to the other side. This process is influenced by three main factors. The first factor, the difference in partial pressure. Imagine you have a tissue barrier like a membrane. On one side of the membrane, you have a certain amount of gas, let's say oxygen. On the other side, you have a different amount of oxygen. The rate at which oxygen moves through the membrane depends on how different the amount of oxygens are on each side. If there's a big difference, oxygen will move quickly. If there's a small difference, it will move more slowly. The second factor is the transfer area. This refers to the size, surface area of the tissue through which the gas can pass. The larger area, the more gas can move through it at once. So if you have a big surface area, gas transfer will be faster. If you have a small surface area, it will be slower. The third factor is tissue thickness. If the tissue barrier is thick, it takes more effort and time. So if the tissue is thin, the gas transfer will be faster. So to summarize, the rate at which gas moves through a tissue depends on how different the gas concentrations are on each side of the tissue, how big the surface area is, and how thick the tissue is the gas has to travel through. As we conclude the instructional segment, let's transition to a few practice questions that you might encounter on your EASA knowledge test. Take your time to read each question, and if necessary, feel free to pause the video for further instruction. By the end of this video, you should feel confident in your ability to answer these questions accurately. If you require additional clarification on any topic, don't hesitate to leave a comment and I'll happily assist you. Remember, practice makes perfect, so don't hesitate to revisit this video as needed to reinforce your understanding. What is the primary definition of pilot error? Please read the answers. The correct answer will be given in 10 seconds. If you don't want to hear the answer, please press pause now. The correct answer is alpha. Which of the following is not an area assessed for pilot competency? The answer will be given in 10 seconds. If you would not like to hear, please press pause now. The correct answer is delta. What are two key aims of human performance and limitations? The answer will be given in 10 seconds. If you do not wish the answer, please press the video now. The correct answer is Charlie. What is the primary cause of approximately 76% of aircraft crashes? The answer will be given again in 10 seconds. If you do not wish to hear it yet, please press the video to pause. The correct answer is Charlie. What does Dalton's law state? The answer will be given in 10 seconds. If you do not wish to hear it yet, please press on the video to pause. The correct answer is Alpha. Thank you for tuning into this video from TogaFLying. I'm Bryan, and it's been a pleasure guiding you through this lesson on human performance and limitations. Whether you're embarking on your aviation journey or seeking to enhance your knowledge as a seasoned pilot, I'm here to support you every step of the way. If you're eager to delve deeper into this topic, simply click on the video displayed on the screen to seamlessly transition into the second lesson. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated on upcoming videos. At TogaFLying, our commitment is to provide comprehensive, free ground school videos covering both EASA and FAA concepts. Rest assured, our content will continually evolve and improve to meet your learning needs. However, I encourage you to use multiple sources in your studies to ensure a well-rounded understanding of aviation principles. Combine our videos with other ground schools and databases to become a safe and knowledgeable pilot. Thank you again for joining me on this journey. Fly safe, and I look forward to our continued exploration of the skies together. Have a good day.